other KiteBud videos, we learn how to self-launch and self-land a kite without the use of a tether. When you kite alone in remote locations, tethered launching and tethered landing are often a great option and a great skill to have as a more experienced kiter. Before we start, let's go through a basic checklist. You will need a lot of space, no obstacles and no people, at least 15 knots of wind, steady non-gusty winds, and last and most important, you will need a very strong anchor. In this case, we are using heavy-duty Dyneema rope and a climbing carabiner attached to a bull bar. You can also use fences or even use a solid sand anchor. No matter the type of anchor you use, if it can't hold a few strong tugs using all your body weight, it's simply not strong enough. Here's an example of what happens when you use a weak anchor. With your kite set up with your lines downwind, perform a pre-flight check to make sure your lines aren't twisted. Walk the bar towards your anchor and attach your chicken loop to the anchor point. Test the strength of your anchor once again from the chicken loop. Put your bar down and grab your kite. Flip it over and walk it perpendicular to the wind until your lines start getting tension, with the kite at the edge of the wind window. Walk downwind and position the kite as if you were holding it to help someone launch. Let the canopy fill up with wind until it stops flapping. Then let go of the kite and stay there to observe the kite behavior. You want to check your bridles and lines again to make sure no lines are twisted and no bridles are wrapped around the kite. If the kite stays there and doesn't seem to move or bounce up and down, you can now head over to your bar. Connect your safety leash first, then grab the chicken loop and attach it to your hook. You can then unclip the carabiner. Now that you're hooked in, you can launch the kite. Once again, hook the safety leash on the safety line first, then hook the chicken loop, then remove the carabiner. Note that in gusty winds, your kite will likely bounce up and down. In gusty or strong winds, it's best to trim your kite before tethering it. This will help to keep it stable and depowered. To land the kite, simply reverse the process. Get close to your anchor and let your kite rest at the edge of the wind window. Let go of the bar and make sure the kite is resting down without bouncing too much. If necessary, use your trim strap to prevent the kite from bouncing up and down. Now hook the chicken loop to the anchor. Unhook from the chicken loop and gradually put tension on the anchor line. If you're happy with the kite position, remove the safety leash and walk over to your kite. Note that it's always safest to stay upwind of your lines, whether you're tethered launching or tethered landing, in case something goes wrong. Grab the kite and walk towards your anchor to create slack in your lines. You can now walk the kite back to the beach and secure it. For more videos, check out kitebud.com.